I don't want to be strong like man who look pretty. I want to be strong like bitch that fight bears in the forest.
Welcome to another episode of Bitch vs. Bear with your hosts, Amber,
Me.
and me, Sydney. We are co-owners of Shield Maiden Training Co., and this is a show where we bitch, laugh, and chat about all things fitness and wellness related to women and the LGBTQIA plus community. Sorry, I need some water
there. But that's your part of the show.
Okay, I got some water.
All right. So this week we have another listener submitted topic, and it's one that we really love.
Yes, we do.
We've loved them all. I love this one. Rest and recovery.
Yeah.
We've touched on this topic before, but this is one that's definitely deserving of some extra love and attention.
I think so, because we say things like, you should rest and recover. But how?
Right?
Like, we all love it. We think it's great.
Yeah.
But how do we do it, and why should we do it? And why is it so important about taking time for rest and recovery? I don't know. But I bet we're going to find out.
You're going to find out.
Yes. Okay. So we all know we love rest and recovery.
Yes.
But why?
I don't know. Why?
What's so important about it? Why is it important for us to take time to rest and recover? Are we going to go into why, Amber?
We sure are.
Yes. Okay. So here we go. Why is it important? Well, it does this fun thing where it helps our muscles repair and grow. So if you're somebody who is working out because you want to define more muscle or you want to get a little more sculpted, like those kinds of things, you actually need to rest.
What?
Yeah. So during exercise, especially strength training, small
Mhm.
tears occur in our muscle fibers, and rest allows the body to repair and rebuild these muscles, making them stronger and more resilient. This
What?
process is essential for muscle growth and increased strength. So
Amazing.
working out 7 times a week isn't doing your body any good, and you're not going to get any stronger, and you're not going to look any more sculpted.
You know. Rest and recovery prevents overtraining.
Oh, imagine that.
Imagine that. Next bullet. Overtraining occurs when you exercise too frequently or too intensely without giving your body enough time to recover. Yeah, building those muscles. This can lead to fatigue, decreased performance, and an increased risk of injuries.
Mm.
Proper rest helps prevent overtraining and its negative consequences, like injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going out to you rock climbers that I see in the gym every day. And why you wonder, why I got my shoulders injured or my hands injured. That's because you've been in here 10 days in a row. Stop. It also gives us back some energy. So exercise depletes energy stores in the body, such as
What?
glycogen. Yeah, in our muscles and in our liver.
Mm.
Rest and recovery periods allow these stores to be replenished, ensuring that you have enough energy for your future workouts.
Amazing.
Right.
So, rest and recovery also benefits the central nervous system and its recovery. I thought this one was really interesting. So, overtraining can overload your central nervous system by keeping it in a fight or flight mode for too long or too often. And this leads to mental fatigue and decreased performance. Just not what we're looking for in our workouts.
Exactly.
So, adequate rest helps your nervous system recover, improving focus, coordination, and reaction times.
We often refer to this like during big like training or big exercise endeavors as frying your CNS because you have so much output and you need time after a big endeavor to rest and recover because you've literally fried your CNS.
Yeah.
So like people who do triathlons, who do Ironmans, who do big weightlifting competitions, like your nervous system can't take that load for that long.
Yeah. It's recognizing your workouts as stress, as panic, as like something is coming for us. We have to be ready.
We have to be ready.
It needs time to relax and feel safe.
Yes, it does. which also helps us with our overall mental well-being. Rest and
Mhm.
recovery can help reduce stress and improve mental well-being. Exercise, while beneficial, can be physically and mentally taxing.
Mhm.
Your body thinks that you are in survival mode during exercise. We are replicating like old time hunter gatherer like scenarios with what we're doing with exercise nowadays.
Yeah.
So adequate rest provides time for relaxation and stress relief.
Yes.
We call this the Dunkham and Dryham method. So when it's we would do this at Outward Bound, and it's one of the reasons we would do morning dips.
Mm.
Is we knew that you need these periods of like high stress, and we want to do it in a really like safe environment where you're replicating what it seems to be a risky situation and then allowing the body to rest and recover from that so that during those situations you're able to think clearer, do all of these things. So one of the reasons that we do a morning dip in the morning at 5:30 in the freezing cold ocean is to replicate this in a really safe environment because
Right.
like the instructors are there, blah blah blah. It's that's what we're doing in this period
Yeah.
is like yeah, you're going to get real cold and your body's going to go into like a little bit of like survival mode. And then we're going to bring you out of it. And then the next time it's not going to be so bad. And then eventually you become conditioned to it.
So when you fall off the boat,
Yeah.
you don't panic quite as much.
You don't panic and you can like get back to the boat and you can like, but we're doing the same thing
Yeah.
in exercise and in those kinds of scenarios. So just
Yeah.
think of it as that you need that downtime, that
Mhm.
drying time, as it were, to come back and be able to like process everything.
Exactly. Because that leads to long-term progress. What?
It's almost like we planned that.
It's almost like we planned this. So consistent long-term progress in fitness is achieved through a combination of challenging workouts and adequate recovery. I feel like a lot of people forget that second part.
Oh, 100%.
So over time, your body adapts to exercise, stress, and becomes stronger. But this adaptation requires rest.
Rest and recovery also promotes balance. We just spent a month talking about finding work life balance, and the same goes for fitness.
Mhm.
Like, it's not one or the other. Holy crap, it's raining outside.
Gross.
Yeah. So you have to like find that balance. Taking rest days can give you a break and give you time to relax, and it keeps your schedule from becoming too crowded. Like, it's really hard to train for, X amount of days or even just like look at your calendar and be like, holy crap.
I feel
10
like you and your wife just had a personal experience with this.
We did. And so it's one of those things where I think we had to do a lot of reflecting and realize that like while we both really enjoy Olympic weightlifting, the training at the gym for 4 days a week for at least 2.5 hours.
Ooh.
And that was if we were like kind of skipping some accessory and like really
Mhm.
we weren't able to commit the time needed to do it appropriately, but also our calendar
Yeah.
didn't allow for it.
Because you also had me bugging you to come climb
Yeah. And so
twice
like
a week. And
we had to like find a good balance, and I think
Mhm.
we're in the process of finding that good balance because there were other things that we wanted to do like
Yeah.
climb, and so we still also need rest days.
yeah. And I feel like you really weren't getting a lot of those.
We weren't getting a lot of those, which meant that we were trying to find them in around the schedule and then not being able to like actually do like train fully when we were present. So it was
Mm.
we were having a hard time finding that balance of like when I'm here, I'm
Yeah.
doing the thing, and when I'm not here, I'm not doing the thing. It just felt like everything was bleeding into
Mm.
one another, and that wasn't a good situation.
Yeah.
So promotes balance. Rest and recovery promotes balance.
So good. Okay. So now we know why rest and recovery is essential for maintaining a balanced and effective fitness routine. How do we do it? We know it's important, but how do we do the thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So don't worry. We have some strategies for you that you can incorporate for how to incorporate rest and recovery into your fitness regimen. Goodness.
Goodness.
It's almost like this is the third episode we've recorded today.
Almost.
Um,
So what do we do, Amber? How do we incorporate it?
Sure. For me, I just rest all the time.
Balance, Amber. Balance. We need balance. You can't just rest all the time. Remember
I have
balance.
the opposite issue. Okay. So first, schedule your rest days. Plan
Mm,
regular rest days into your weekly workout schedule. The frequency of these rest days may vary depending on your fitness level, your goals, or the intensity of your workouts. Typically, 1 to 3 rest days per week is a good starting point.
nice. Yeah, that that sounds about right. Okay. Listening to your body. So I think people fall on either side of this,
Mhm.
where they maybe their body is signaling that they need rest and they're like, I just need to push through it. Or their body is actually feeling pretty good and you're not working it like it needs to be.
Mm.
So like there's two sides of that same coin.
Yeah.
So pay attention to your body signals. If you're feeling excessively fatigued, sore, or notice a decrease in performance or are getting injured more frequently,
Ah, yes.
that's a sign you need to rest more.
Mhm.
Don't push through the pain or extreme fatigue. Instead, take a rest day or engage in what we like to call active rest days, where you can go for a 30-minute walk. You're
Yeah.
not putting a whole lot of strain on your body by doing that.
Exactly.
And your body, but if you feel like you need to move, because sometimes like blood flow to injuries and those things can be really helpful. Yes. But the other side of that is I have found that people sometimes are like, I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, all I'm doing is walking. And I'm like, you need to do a little more. You
Yeah.
like you have to strike that balance. Like
Like
there's some,
walking is great. But
there's something to be said for like doing a hike if you
Mhm.
like walking, doing a mild trail run, like
Mm.
doing some more strenuous yoga and things like that. Because at the end of the day, you do want to go to bed tired.
Yeah.
Like if all you're doing is resting, you're probably not sleeping very well.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right. Not that you rest all the time, but like you for a while there, I mean, you were working out as much as I was working out. Like we
Yeah.
were going to the gym 5 days a week.
Yeah. I hated it. It was awful.
Yeah.
I hurt all the time.
You slept better.
Mm,
She
Sometimes.
did. She blocks out the positive things sometimes. So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, finding that balance of like, there is something to be said for like going to bed tired, of like having a big day and having done something really physically strenuous,
Mhm.
and trying to figure out how to mitigate all of those things together.
Yeah. So sleep. Prioritize quality sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep per night. This sleep time is when your body undergoes critical recovery and repair processes. Establish a consistent sleep routine to improve your sleep quality.
And if you need tips on a consistent sleep routine, please reach out. I have lots of them.
Sid's got it on lockdown.
I do have it on lockdown. I recommend kicking everyone out of your house by 8 p.m. That starts it.
Go back and listen to Setting Boundaries a
Yep.
couple weeks ago.
That is a firm boundary that I have. Okay. So moving down to the next bullet point, because I love active recovery. I think it's so great. I think people don't utilize it enough. And I think we've started to incorporate a lot of people have started to incorporate it, but it was kind of relatively unknown except for like high performing athletes. On rest days, consider engaging in light or low impact activities such as walking or swimming.
Mhm.
Swimming is really great. I would say with swimming, it's more like floating. Because it releases a lot of tension. Active swimming can burn a lot of calories because you're having to work a lot on
Yeah.
breathing technique.
So
But
maybe it's a gentle swim.
it's a gentle swim. It's a
Leisurely swim.
it's like a breaststroke, and like maybe you grab out the kickboard and like do some flutter kicks and then like kind of float around in the pool.
Yeah.
So activities like that promote blood flow, which can help with the muscle recovery up at the top, where we're like, hey, when you work out, especially when you strength train, you rip all these muscles. Like,
Which sounds terrible.
yeah, lightly, gently.
Just gently ripping your muscles apart.
Yeah. But these things also help to reduce stiffness. So a lot of times, like
Yep.
people have this thing of like, oh, I need to rest and I'm just going to lay here on the couch. And then they get up and they're like, "Ugh, I can't
Yep.
move." It's like, you need a little bit of that blood flow to help out. So it does all of that without those like the stress of those more intense workouts.
I always recommend light activity the next day after my classes.
Light activity.
I'm like, lots of water and light activity.
So many things could be fixed with more water.
And lots of the next bullet point, stretching and mobility work.
Yay!
Woo. So incorporate stretching and mobility exercise into your routine. These are great to do on your rest days. These can improve flexibility, reduce muscle tightness, and enhance overall recovery. Things like gentle yoga, foam rolling, just sitting on the floor and stretching are excellent options.
I do love foam rolling.
You do. I love gentle yoga.
Hydration.
And I'm talking about gentle yoga, not like power yoga.
Restorative yoga.
Restorative yoga.
Where you're holding poses for like 5 minutes. Yeah. Hydration. Like I said, most things can be fixed by water. Staying well hydrated is crucial for muscle function and recovery. Drink water throughout the day. And you can even consider electrolyte-rich drinks if you've sweated heavily during your workouts. I wouldn't recommend like a ton of like Gatorades and things like that. But if there's a day where you've done like, a 12-mile hike or something, you can have a Gatorade. You're going to need to replenish all that stuff you sweat out.
Yeah.
Though I think some people do go a little bit crazy where they're just like, I'm going to use, Element or one of those kinds of like ones after every session. And I'm like, that's probably not necessary. Yeah. We already drink way more water. Like we're more water conscious now than we were 25 years ago. Like,
yeah.
I didn't have a water bottle as a kid.
I don't remember even drinking water as a kid.
I drank water. It was out of a hose.
I mean, yeah.
But like I didn't carry around my comfort water bottle. That thing goes everywhere with me now. Like we were way more on our hydration game.
Right? I've got my giant Tervis tumbler that follows me around the apartment.
And our water bottles could talk. Where'd you go? Why'd you leave me? I'm by the bed.
So massage and body work. So periodic massages or sessions with a physical therapist can help alleviate muscle tension and improve circulation. These treatments can be particularly beneficial for athletes or individuals with chronic muscle tightness.
I do love a massage.
And like, I know that's outside of some people's price range and like, that's fine. But, if you can, ask for it for a birthday.
Yeah.
Ask for it for Christmas. Maybe it's something you splurge on a few times a year. They're wonderful.
They are. So also mental recovery, incorporating relaxation techniques like meditation, deep breathing, or mindfulness, they reduce stress and promote mental recovery. We talk about them a lot here because I think it's one of the like fitness things where that's where it gets people miss that aspect. They're like, I go to the gym 5 times a week, but they don't do any mental recovery. So stress management is an integral part of your overall well-being and also resting and recovering. Yeah. Because that's what this is about. Your body is undergoing stress. And so if you don't have stress management techniques, you are not going to be fulfilling your potential. It's
exactly
just that simple.
Like we talked about above, you need to let your nervous system relax and detox and
exactly
be stressed for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. So cross training. Vary your workouts to avoid overuse injuries. Cross training involves participating in different types of physical activities, which can give specific muscle groups a break while still maintaining your overall fitness.
It is true. And it is one of the reasons that CrossFit was so successful. I would say outside of doing things improperly, injuries aren't that frequent in CrossFit because of this reason. Like up until my injury, which was just a silly one, I didn't have a lot of injuries from CrossFit specifically because we were varying all the time and I wasn't having any overuse injuries. So when people are like, oh, CrossFit, everybody gets injured in that. I'm like, yeah, it's usually improper, like with like a barbell. Let's be serious. Yeah. So cross train.
It's important.
It is important. This one I like. Recovery tools. So we're living in a very innovative age. And so there's lots of things, and we know a lot more about recovery now. So things like ice baths, compression garments. Like I have feet issues from years of backpacking. So I wear compression socks.
Nice.
They're wonderful. It's like a hug for your feet.
I love it.
Or these are really cool. Have you ever tried on any of the like recovery boots?
Haven't.
So you can get them on Amazon and they like plug in and they like do the compression, but then like kind of like a massage chair. But
What?
they're amazing. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and they like come up to your hip. Like you can get all kinds of different ones. I'll send you a link.
Okay,
They're
great.
great. But they also those kinds of things can help not only reduce muscle soreness, but also tamp down inflammation.
Mm.
And I think that an episode we should do in the future should be around inflammation.
Ooh,
Because I don't
okay.
necessarily know that people understand what inflammation is or how to like treat it appropriately.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Put it on the list.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And finally, as always, seek professional guidance.
We love professionals.
If you are unsure about your recovery needs or if you're dealing with injuries, especially if you're dealing with injuries, consider consulting with a fitness professional, a physical therapist, or a sports medicine specialist. They can provide personalized recommendations and things that you should actually be doing outside of our non medical professional research.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's important to remember that rest and recovery are individualized. What
Yes.
your friend does for their rest and recovery might not work for you.
Yeah.
And so you just have to kind of find what routine suits your specific needs and your goals and kind of aligns all of those things. And consistently prioritizing rest and recovery will help you maximize the benefits of your fitness program while reducing the risk of burnout and injury. Think of it like we talk about fitness as this consistent thing. If you're only focused on that and you only rest when your body is overly fatigued, that's not going to be beneficial.
Yeah.
It really needs to be incorporated in there so you can maximize both.
Kind of like closing the barn door when the cows are already out.
Yeah, exactly. The farmer from Vermont. It's like, what's a good
Or the
analogy?
horses. I guess it's horses. Cows are supposed to go out.
I don't know. I was like, sure, yeah, that sounds right. I don't know what
Picking
cows
up the
do.
hose after the milking started. I don't know.
I'm like, what do the cows do? I don't know. I count them. I count cows.
Did you see the video of the cows in like England or Scotland or wherever they are
Uh-huh.
that they like let out of the barn?
I love cows are silly.
Cows are silly. Okay. That is a wrap on rest and recovery. Woohoo.
Woo! I love rest and recovery. I'm going to
It's
do
so
some
good.
today.
Me too. Not that I have to rest or recover from anything, but
I might do some stretching too.
that'd be good.
And my hips are a little tight.
It's always tight. How much yoga I do. Okay. So, anyways, make sure to keep listening. Next week, we have another listener episode. It's our last episode of October.
Exciting.
Wild.
I know, it's wild.
And keep liking, following, commenting, all the things and all the places.
Do it, you won't.
No homework this week.
No homework this week. Rest and recover. That's your homework.
Yes.
Or maybe make a rest and recovery schedule. That's a good
Ooh,
homework.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Cue music.
Cue music.